With your Pecos League recap for games played June the 23rd, I'm your host, Joey Dean. We start in Alpine, Texas, where Alpine and Roswell played 2. Bottom of the first inning, Josh Rago with an RBI double to make it 1-0 in favor of the Cowboys. The very next batter, James Procish, comes to the plate. He hits an RBI single to make it 2-0 in favor of Alpine. They would add 2 more runs in the 5th, and then in the bottom of the 6th, Brandon Andrews at the plate for a solo home run. His 4th of the season makes it 5-1 in favor of the Alpine Cowboys. They would go on to win that game by that score. In the other game of the doubleheader, Alpine also won 6-4. Next we go to Iola, Kansas, as the Kansas City Hormigas took on the Trinidad Triggers. Bottom of the 5th, already 2-0, and Devin Rader hits this 3-run bomb to make it 5-0 Kansas City, Rader's 4th of the year. Bottom of the 6th inning, Antoine Franco with a solo home run to make it 6-0, his 2nd home run of the season. And a few batters later, Ramirez Velasquez with a solo home run of his own to make it 7-0, his 4th home run of the season. Kansas City would go on to win it 9-2. They've won 2 straight games for the first time in franchise history. Next we go to Nebraska and North Platte as the Garden City Wind took on the North Platte 80s. Bottom of the 1st, Kobe Tweeten with an RBI single to make it 1-0 in favor of the 80s. They'd get a sac fly in the 2nd inning, and then in the bottom of the 3rd, another sac fly. Aiden Diltz with this one to make it 3-0 in favor of North Platte. Fast forward all the way to the top of the 8th, Caleb Skoll at the plate, an RBI single for Garden City to tie it up at 3. They would take the lead 6-3 going into the 9th, and then Kobe Tweeten with a 2 RBI single to make it 6-5. That's all the closer that North Platte would get as the Wind would go on to get the victory by a score of 6-5. Now we go to Oklahoma and Blackwell as they took on Santa Fe. Top of the 2nd inning, Quentin Copeland with this solo home run, his 3rd of the season for the Santa Fe Fuego, makes it 4-3 Blackwell. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Marcus Bracey with a 2-run homer to make it 6-3 in favor of the Flycatchers. Bracey's 8th home run of the season. Top of the 3rd inning, Rupert Watson with a solo home run for Santa Fe to make it 6-4, his 2nd dinger of the year. But in the bottom of the 6th, Samson Gerner with a grand slam to put an exclamation point on things. 20-5 suddenly the score. Game finished after 7 innings. Finally, we go to California. Bakersfield hosting Vallejo. Bottom of the 1st inning, Jared Gay with a 3-run homer to put Bakersfield up 3-0. Gay's 5th home run of the season. Top of the 6th, Vallejo trying to rally. Bryce Heyman with a 2-run double narrows the margin to 14-5. But in the bottom of the 6th inning, Joe Sterick would come to the plate and he would hit a 2-run homer to make it 16-6, Sterick's 1st home run of the year. And Bakersfield would go on to win it 19-6. Join us again next time for another Pecos League recap.